जय हिंद दोस्तों। आज हम यूपीएससी सीएपीएफ एसी पेपर वन का डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस करने वाले हैं, जिसमें हम सब्जेक्ट वाइज ब्रेकडाउन, की टेक अवेज और स्ट्रेटेजी भी डिस्कस करेंगे। ये सेशन उन सभी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है जो 2026 या आगे की अटेम्प्ट की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, तो वीडियो के एंड तक जरूर बनिए। सबसे पहले लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस यू माई सेल्फ। आई एम अनूप कुमार द्विवेदी, ऑल इंडिया रैंक 106 in this UPSC CAPF AC 2024. Let's move to subject wise distribution of this year paper. मैंने पूरा टेबल के फॉर्म में बनाया है। पर्सनली एक एक क्वेश्चन को देखकर किस लेवल के क्वेश्चन है, बिकॉज आई हैव आल्सो गिवन मल्टीपल अटेम्प्ट of this examination, and I have qualified this in the last year, so I can somehow guess the level of question. एंड मैंने करंट अफेयर में स्कीम्स भी इंक्लूड किए, जिसकी वजह से आपको देखेंगे कि पॉलिटी में नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन कम हुए। सो दिस ईयर करंट अफेयर कंटेन्स अराउंड 24 क्वेश्चंस, जो कि मॉडरेटली टू टफ थे। एंड पॉलिटी, जो रॉ पॉलिटी है, उससे जो मोस्टली लक्ष्मीकांत या पॉलिटिकल साइंस की बुक से सॉल्वेबल है, वो पांच ही थे, जो जो भी मॉडरेट लेवल के थे, बट हाँ, यस, डुएबल थे। अगेन हिस्ट्री के अराउंड 20 क्वेश्चन थे, बट मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री की अगेन ओनली 7 क्वेश्चन थे। आर्ट्स एंड कल्चर एंड मिडिवल की हर साल की तरह एडवांटेज रहा है, उसके क्वेश्चन ज्यादा आए हैं, अराउंड 13 क्वेश्न आए हैं, और जो कि टफ लेवल के थे। दे हैव आस्क्ड वेरी डीप डेप्थ नॉलेज, दे हैव चेक थ्रू दैट। एंड ज्योग्राफी के इस ईयर अराउंड 11 क्वेश्चन आए थे, जो भी मॉडरेट, आई वुड से मॉडरेट लेवल के थे। इट वाज दे वर नॉट एट ऑल इजी क्वेश्चन, बट यस, few of them, 2 to 3, were directly from the NCERT, so you could have been solved that easily. इकोनॉमी के इस साल अराउंड 8 क्वेश्चन थे, जो कि अगेन दे वर मॉडरेट टू टफ, आई वुड से। साइंस के इस बार वी हैव सीन दैट देयर इज अ राइज इन नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम साइंस। दिस ईयर इट इज अराउंड 36 क्वेश्चन, इंक्लूडेड 5 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम कंप्यूटर, जिनमें से अराउंड 4 तो अराउंड बहुत इजी थे, आई वुड से। Out of 5, 4 questions of computer were very easy. It could have been solved easily. And overall, due to the presence of chemistry and physics, I would say moderate level का paper था science का. And we have seen this year in the reasoning and quant section, the level of question has been increased. It was more of like a CSAT type. Generally, CAPF AC के papers में math, quant and reasoning slightly easy होती थी लास्ट ईयर से, बट हमने देखा कि लास्ट कुछ सालों में आज कभी लेवल बढ़ा देते थे, कभी लेवल घटा देते थे। सो इट वाज दिस ईयर आल्सो, इट वाज मोर ऑफ मॉडरेट टू टफ। कुछ क्वेश्चन टाइम टेकिंग भी थे, बट उनमें से कुछ क्वेश्चन ऐसे भी हैं जो इजीली सॉल्वेबल थे। एंड द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन इस बार थोड़े कम हुए, अराउंड 17-18 हर साल होते थे, इट वाज अराउंड 15 दिस ईयर। एंड एनवायरनमेंट हर साल की तरह बहुत छोटा सा पोर्शन है सीपीएफ के, उसमें अगेन 6 क्वेश्चन आया है, एंड इट इज ऑफ मॉडरेट लेवल। So let's start with subject wise analysis of specific topics, ठीक है। फर्स्ट करंट अफेयर। इस साल करंट अफेयर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन स्कीम्स, अवार्ड्स, डिफेंस एंड इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस. I have included some examples also in the upcoming slides, where we will be able to see how question has came, like are they more of factual or concept is required over there. Till last year, if we see it in 2024, this current affair was spread over multiple topics like basic facts from summits, personalities, and appointments. But in this year, they have seen that current affair has focused mainly on strategic partnership with countries like Poland. There was one question about the joint tie with India and Poland, and there were more questions on schemes like Gramin Bharat Mahotsav, and one more question about like Nandini Sahakar scheme. Also, there were questions from Rashtriya Vigyan Puruskar. This, and there were questions about from Ghatampur Thermal Project, Mission Shakti. And also there was, I think in my 4 to 5 years of experience, I have seen this type of question for the first time, where election related news of other country has been asked, like this year federal smash election was asked. It like generally we are more focused on CAPF is more focused on Indians election on not from any international election. But yes, such question has came this year. This year, so let's look into the some questions that has came in current affairs section. You can see this India and Poland have agreed to implement the Indian Poland strategic partnership in terms of 5 years action plan. Identify the current action plan. Action plan 2023, 27, 22, 26, 24, 28, 25, 29. Again, this is one of the factual question. You just need to know the exact year from when to when this strategic partnership is being held between India and Poland. But it is not available easily on newspaper, I would say. In some even in some paper, it was mentioned that 23 to 27 was action the year. But yes, 2024 से 28 एक्चुअली पीवाईबी में मेंशन है. सो हमें अकॉर्डिंग टू पीवाईबी के और एमईए के जॉइंट डिक्लेरेशन के हिसाब से सही आंसर मानना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वही मोर ऑथेंटिक है. और अगेन आई विल सजेस्ट व्हेन यू आर स्टडिंग फॉर द करंट अफेयर, more rely on government websites, because वही at the end UPSC आंसर कंसिडर करेगा. So according to joint declaration on this from this embassy of India and embassy of Poland and Indian government, it is that action plan 2024 22 28 is the correct answer, and it is the one of the factual, very factual question. Again, the second question is the 2024 OPCW, Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. The Hague Award has been conferred upon which one of the following organization? We have the options of Indian Chemical Science, Indian Chemical Society, the National Authority Chemical Weapons Convention, Gujarat Fluorochemical Limited. Again, it is one very one-liner question. It is about the award. So it is according to PIB, it is Indian Chemical Science, but yeah, it is one of the it requires one of the very depth knowledge of the current affair, I would say. Generally, ऐसे awards को स्टूडेंट नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं, नहीं पढ़ते, क्योंकि मोस्टली हमने देखा कि बुक्स के अवार्ड्स हम पढ़ते हैं, हम कोई नेशनल लेवल का अवार्ड हो हम पढ़ते हैं, बट ये इंटरनेशनल समिट्स के अवार्ड हम जनरली नहीं पढ़ते. सो इट इज वन ऑफ द टफ क्वेश्चन, आई वुड से. थर्ड, which one of the following state is not a part of Purvodaya Development Initiative of the Government of India? Again, Purvodaya Development Initiative of the Government of India. अगर आप इसको ध्यान से देखोगे तो इसमें भले पूर्वोदय है, इट्स नॉट अबाउट ओनली नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट. लेट बी वेरी क्लियर, इसमें ओडिशा भी है, इसमें शायद आंध्रा भी है. तो इट इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट नॉर्थ ईस्ट, बट यस इसमें से बिहार है, झारखंड है, वेस्ट बंगाल है, बट नॉट द छत्तीसगढ़. छत्तीसगढ़ कम इनटू दैट सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया. So yes, we have to find out the north. So it is Chhattisgarh, that is not correct over here. But in तीन चार क्वेश्चन से what we have learned is that for this year or maybe for the upcoming years, for current affairs we must follow PIB budget. Even a few questions were directly from budget, like physical deficit. The answer was 4.8, and the I think one bond related question was also there. That is also from budget. So such question come from budget, and we should also follow updates from different ministries. In upcoming slide, there are some examples of schemes also. I have mentioned that. So like this scheme, that National Green Hydrogen Mission. So the question was like that, which of the following is correct? The National Green Hydrogen Mission was approved by Union Cabinet, Government of India in the year 2023. And this second option, second statement is the Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Government of India has launched the Green Hydrogen Certification Scheme of India. Again, so of course this is correct. It was approved on the 4th of January 2023. But to my surprise, even in some portal of Government of India, it is mentioned 2022. But the correct answer is 2023. As per the PIB, I have mentioned, I have checked it twice. As per the PIB, it is the year 2023. So the option statement one is correct, but the statement two is wrong. It is not the certification of Ministry of Environment. but rather it is a certification of Ministry of Renewable Energy. So yes, it is only the correct answer would be only one over here. So it requires a depth knowledge of the scheme. You cannot just read what is about green hydrogen mission, but you should be always also be knowing that when it has been approved. So more of I would say very factual details like dates and data it is required for the current affair this year. The second scheme is like Gramin Bharat Mahotsav 2025. We have to find which of the two option is correct. So first statement says it aims at promoting economic stability and financial security among rural population. Again, it is related to Gramin Bharat, so name itself suggests it is related to rural development. So I think from a very vague understanding also you can see that the option one somewhat relies aligned with the name of the scheme. So yes, and it is also yes, it is their main aim is to promote economic stability and financial security among rural population. So option one is correct. Second statement is it focus on financial inclusion and supporting sustainable agricultural practice. So let me share with you that Gramin Bharat Mahotsav was celebrated with the help of NABARD. Okay. And NABARD is a bank that mainly focus on the financial inclusion and sustainable practices in rural population. So its second statement already becomes automatically becomes true. So both the statements is correct. So the answer will be C, both one and two. And the third scheme I have taken is which of the following statement with the regard to national manufacturing mission is correct? Again, very important question. National manufacturing mission about the so it covers the small, medium, large industries. Student might get confused whether that a single mission is covering all these sections. But it is a correct statement because as per BYB, National Manufacturing Mission covers all small, medium, and large industries. It will support clean tech manufacturing. Yes, it is the era of clean tech energy, so it will definitely support clean tech manufacturing. It is right. It will facilitate promotion of employment opportunity in labor intensive sector. Yes, this is the keyword labor intensive sector. If some manufacturing, like it is a mission of manufacturing, so definitely it will provide some sort of employment and it is more of like a labor intensity. So as per my knowledge and as per the, I would say that our technical team, all the third three option is correct and correct answer would be D 1, 2, 3. Coming to the next subject, economy. Economy maintains volume but becomes more analytical this year compared to the previous year. We have compared both 2024 paper and 2025 paper. In 2024, the focus on was more on budget allocation. I would say that some question was more on that finance commission and the specificity of finance commission. Question related to government schemes, trade data were asked, and they were more on fact-based 2024 question. But in 2025, questions have little changed. They have become little analytical. Like the question was about income elasticity type. You have to just match the following. There were different type of income elasticity and engine of growth in budget. One factual question about the G20 formation year. I think it is one of the PYQ. If you could have solved the previous year's question of different UPSC examination, you would have found that the question related to G20 has been asked. I think one more question was like it was completely repeated this year. I have mentioned it in the coming slide. I will show you that. There were questions related to PMI, Purchase Monthly Index, reporting agencies, and there were this time we have seen the in economy section there was some question related to theory. Generally in CAPF AC examination, questions were more of factual in nature for the economy. But this year we have seen this more of analytical and conceptual clarity was required. So let's see some examples, some question that has been came in 2025 from the economy section. So first question is which of the following statement about the relationship between elasticity, demand, and type of firm is correct? Again, it requires the understanding of price elasticity and the type of firms like competitive firm, monopolistic firm. If you know the difference between these two type of form, then only you can solve this question. What is perfectly elastic? What is perfectly inelastic? So the first statement is perfectly elastic demand is associated with competitive form. Yes, it is related to competitive form because in competitive form, the elasticity is perfect. So yes, option one is correct. Statement one is correct. Perfectly inelastic demand is associated with monopolistic competitive form. No. In monopolistically, it is not perfectly inelastic. So second option is the second statement is wrong. Correct answer would be only one. But it requires a conceptual clarity. It does not the person who does not know the difference between monopolistic form and competitive form, he or she will not be able to solve such questions. Yes, I was talking about this question. It is one of the PYQ. If you see the previous year question of UPSC paper. When I'm saying UPSC paper, I'm not saying only about the CAPF AC paper. You should always try to solve PYQs of all the UPSC paper, be it civil services, be it NDA, CDS, be it even geoscientists, general studies paper of geoscientists. Should solve them also. This question has been definitely can because I can recall this question I have even solved in during my preparation. So the question was the code on wages of was notified by the government of India in the year. It is 2029. And the third is which one of the following items of expenditure received the highest allocation in the union budget? Here you can say the question from budget has been came. But if you have read the even summary of budget from any of the summaries provided by any institute, like even from if you have read from Vision IS, you would have seen that generally they provide some pie charts and tables in which they give the information regarding the what the budget from where the money has came and from the where money is going. So if you could just recall that simple two chart, you could have solved this question. And the maximum since we are in a expanding mode, our country is developing in nature, so it is more of interest payment. Maximum allotment it is in interest payment. So what were the implications that we had to learn in economic section? This along with budget reading, economic concept like elasticity, inflation, GDP trade theory from NCERT plus economic surveys are now essential. You cannot just be read like some compilation of economy for a suppose 50 to 100 pages and you can go for considering that CAPF does not ask much deeper question. But time has changed. I think CAPF has the makers of paper of CAPF has taken it seriously. I think they have started making very good conceptual question of economic too. Let's talk about the polity. So in 2024, the focus was mostly on static polity like president, parliament, directive principle, etc. But in 2025, deeper focus on articles and amendment like there were questions specifically about the 42nd amendment, articles like 74(1), articles like 311. So very specific question. You cannot just read like just go through the overview of the what is regarding the president, parliament. You should now recall some articles also. What is in this like if you go to the 74 article 74, you should know that it is related to prime minister and president. It is related to cabinet like council of ministries. So you should be if you recall these things, you would have been able to solve such question. But I would say that this year polity was not so tough. People who might have found it tough. I don't know why. The reason would be that we for polity we just read Lakshmi Khan. I think if you could talk to someone who is had prepared for CAPF 10 to 20 year back, they could have, they will also say that they have read Lakshmi Khan for the polity. But time has changed. Time has evolved. Question papers have been evolved. Now the question comes from more on analytical way. You cannot just mug up the facts about the polity and score marks. You need to know the exact details of the articles, you know, to know be very analytical in eliminating the option because in polity most problem was that all the option looks like correct and we have to find the most accurate answers. There was few questions from the traditional trends also like the committees related the Panchayati Raj committee and Balwant Rai Mehta, LM Singh, we related that. There was some comparative polity also like FSDC, Jal Jeevan, Court of Record. Again, this question of Court of Record, it needs in-depth conceptual clarity about the Court of Record. Like you cannot just say that Supreme Court is only Court of Record or High Court is only Court of Record. You have to know why like lower court is not a Court of Record. Statement-based question bit tricky, distracted like historic acts like 1999 and 1853 were asked this year. Let's see some of the questions that came this year. From among the following, identify the correct option that captures the changes made in Article 74(1) of the Constitution of India through 42nd Amendment Act 1973. The first option says executive power of union shall be vested with the President of India. Again, the problem with the options of polity is that all the statement is correct, but not according to question. Question has asked like what changes made in Article 74(1) of the Constitution of India through 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Right? We have to just focus on this part and answer accordingly. It is a correct statement, but not according to question, so it is a wrong, I would say. Prime Minister has the duty to brief the President about the decision of the Council of Ministers. It is Article 75, I would say. The President shall exercise his/her function on the advice of Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. Yes, this is the correct type. The this is 42nd Amendment was done to add this particular thing. The President shall exercise his/her function on the advice of the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. So option C is the correct. Again, the question related to CAG. Consider the following statement about the powers and duties of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. He audits the reports on all expenditure and consolidated fund of India. Yes, true. He controls the issue and receipt of money from consolidated fund of India. No, he does not control this because executive like government control or in some sort we could have like even legislative have some sort of control over the funds like they can ask the question in the session. So not the CAG. Definitely option two is statement two is wrong. So when we eliminate option as statement two, automatically option C is correct, one and three. Let's see even what is option C. He audits the reports on the expenditure of all bodies substantially financed from the union and state. Yes, it is the main aim of the CAG. So it is right. So option C, one and three is correct. So what are the implication in this paper? What are the learnings from CAPF AC 2025 for the polity section? Please go beyond Lakshmikant. You just do not stick to Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant is required. It is necessary for polity, but please do not stuck to the Lakshmikant. Cover information related to committees, amendments, read their acts. I would suggest, especially for some special amendments like 42, 42nd, it is a mini constitution. You should read their act, judiciary provisions, historical acts, and please follow PYQs. It will help you to gain maximum mark because there was trend that in polity student used to get 10 at like 100% marks. If 10 question has arrived, then almost everyone try to get 10 out of or 9 out of 10 correct. So you cannot just miss a single question. You cannot just afford to get wrong a single question. It will cost you somewhere your marks or your rank. Coming to the history, history was a tougher on a tougher side, I would say. Very specific, very in-depth question has been asked. Even this question of this like Battle of Chinhut, even I was not aware about this question when I read this. Even I have to look into this Google for the particular answer. Who among the following British commanders suffered defeat in famous Battle of Chinhut during Article 1857 revolt? When we during the 1857 revolt. When we heard the 1857 revolt, we generally remember the uh, Jhansi Rani Bhai uh, uh, and the battles related to others, but we cannot generally we does not read about Battle of Chinhat. Okay. So this year question were more of depth, more on tougher side. Correct answer is Henry Lawrence. Again, there were some questions related to arts and culture, like which Hindustani classical rag is sung in as an invitation to the rain. So it is, I would say, it is not a very tough question. It is moderate, like it is. We have studied it earlier also. Rag Malhar, Malhar, even Malhar is related to water. If you know this, so you can just could have eliminated few. Yeah, Bahar is related to air, wind. So you could have done this through elimination. Rag Malhar is the correct answer. Who among the following classical poet is the author of book Kirat Junniyam? Pardon for my pronunciation. Thiruvalluvar Valmiki Panini Bhairavi. So even I don't know. I'm very sorry for this, but when I said the when I read the for the first time, I was not able to recall the exact answer of this. But yes, with the help of my technical team, the correct answer is Bhairavi, and it is one of the tough question of the arts and culture. Coming to the reasoning and math section, this year the number of question has been slightly reduced, but it has been more sharper this year. In 2024, there were around 17 question. The question were mix of time, speed, interest, train, clock, geometry, blood relation, etc., etc. But they were more of doable type, like a person who has a basic knowledge, understanding of maths, basic knowledge of maths, could have done if he or she has practiced few question of PYQs. But this year the question were little more or sharper, little more on tougher side. Even the number of question has decreased. This year only 15 question has came from maths and reasoning, and I can only see only one or two question from reasoning. Like more of it was more of maths, like 13 to 14 question of maths and one or two from reasoning. But the question came from the sharper framing with more logic involved. Darkness cycle from bulbs, calendar matching with 2025, clocks, LCM based logic, reversal problems, pipes, train, set based partnership and ratio. I think this year the math section was more inclined toward the CSAT. If the person who has given CSAT for civil service even in the last 2 years, he or she can relate to that. The question was more related to CSAT. The level of the question has increased comparatively to the previous years of CAPF AC papers. Let's see a few questions from this section. This for any three natural number A, B, C, if BC plus 1 upon ABC plus A plus C equal to 11 by 43, then the value of ABC. Generally, this type of question does not come in CAPAC till the last year, I would say. But yes, the level has increased, the time has changed. So this type of question generally come in CSAT or in I would say in even CGL. If someone has prepared CGL, they can relate to it. That such question come in CGL also. So it is one of the toughest question, and it required I think a good knowledge of the maths, and you need to solve this theoretically. It will be also a time-taking question. So after solving, equating this equation and solving this, the value of ABC come around to 30. Yes, this is one of the easy question I would say. Let's see. But two trains A and B are entering in a railway platform from opposite direction. Okay. The length of the platform is 300 meter. Okay. The speed of B is two times the speed of A. The time taken by B to cross the platform is one third of the time taken by A to cross the platform. If the sum of the length of A and B is 500, what is the difference of their length? Okay, so generally people when student when say a long question, they get scared. Let me tell you, it is one of the easiest question of reasoning quant section. It is just a like lengthy question, I would say. Yeah, it will take your time. It will require at least 2 to 3 minutes and a proper structuring of the answer. But it is a easy question. You would have done this in your practice also, and the answer come around to 20 meters when you solve this equation like. The speed of b is two times the speed of a, and the this if the sum of length of a and b is 500. You have to just found two equation and substituting one into, you will get the exact difference of their length. Even you can find the exact length of both the trains. Let's switch to geography and environment section. This year, the geography and environment section was quite stable, but it required more conceptual. In 2024, there was a good mix of physical and human geography. There were a number of questions from human geography also. Many factual questions were came like soil, river, climate zone, maps. But this year we have not seen such more question about regarding to the mapping section. This year, weightage was almost similar. Number of question was almost similar, but it required more conceptual clarity. More tricky question were there. The question were related to volcanoes, some related to salt weathering, raster data format, GIS component, tidal phenomena, neap tides, Bharatmala and Sagarmala versus national highways, national waterways. So there was some question directly from the NCERT. Even that question related to salt weather, if you see, the question related to this neap tides, they were directly from the NCERT. You can just pinpoint the exact statement from this NCERT, 11th class 11th NCERT, if you see. So they were not very tough, but yeah, definitely it required more conceptual clarity, and there were less number of mapping questions this year as compared to the previous years. Let's see few questions from the geography. Which of the following types of mass movement are categorized as rapid movement? Again, question from NCERT. If someone has read the geography NCERT religiously, he or she could easily solve this question. Statement one: creeps, mudflow, solifluction, slumps. We have to find the following types of mass movement as rapid. Which one of the following in this four? Which two or three are as categorized as the rapid movements? So one and two, one and three, two and four, three and four. Creep is not a rapid. Creep is very small, slow. So it is a slow movement. Okay? So you can just eliminate this creep. You can eliminate this. Then for A and B option is eliminated. We have only C and D, that 2 4 or 3 4. So definitely slump, like 4 is correct slump. Now the question comes related to mud flow and solidification. You can, if you have even a general understanding about the your physical environment, you could have understand that mud flow is a rapid movement. So that the correct answer lies to like 2 and 4. Which one of the following is the main method by which potholes are created in bedrock by falling stream? Again, the question from NCERT, direct question from NCERT. The correct answer is abrasion. Solifluction is related to the mass movements. Corrosion, again, it is related to weathering and movement. The correct answer is abrasion. Consider the following statement with reference to neap tide. Again, it is also one of the question directly from the NCERT. Statement one, normally there is a 7 day interval between two neap tides. No, it is like if same type of tide is there, then there will be at least 14 days of interval. There is a 7 days interval between neap tide and normal tide, that spring tide. So at this times, the sun and the moon are right angle to each other. Yes, statement one is wrong. Statement two is correct. So if you can see, so A and C is eliminated. We still have B and D. So we have to see whether option statement three is correct or not. The moon's attraction is diminished by the counteracting force of sun's gravitational pull. Yes, the moon's attraction is diminished by the counteracting force of sun's gravitational pull. Yes, so the correct option will be D option. Statement two and three is correct. Only statement one is wrong. Let's come to the most important section of the this year's paper, and I would say the all everyone like CAPF has a very good weightage of science. So science till 2024 there were questions more of balance among physics, chemistry, biology, and they were like required moderate factual depth. You just need to be good with NCERT. Some question always there related to this basic diseases, related to photosynthesis, related to simple chemistry. But there is this year we have seen the rise in science question. Like generally there were around 25 to 28 question of science, but this year we could see that there were around 36 question including computers. So there were increase in question from especially from biology and chemistry. We could see that there is a rise in question from biology, especially rise in conceptual and application based question. You just not need to good with factual data, but also with the conceptual and application of the particular data. Some examples was related to facilitated transport, allostric enzymes, xylem, apical meristem. Even physics question involved application like Doppler effect, hysteresis loop. Such question came. So it required more analytical approach, more conceptual clarity. Only then you can solve such question. There was a shift in trend from static NCERT to application in technologies, physiology, and physics laws. So definitely the number of question has increased, but so the trend has also changed. We need to be very good with the analytical approach and concepts of the science. We could be only able to solve all the question because science is something that always gives you marks. If you are good with science, you cannot say that, "Oh, I can solve only 20 out of 30 question." Even average student will solve this 20 out of 30 question from science. If you are really good with science, you should be able to try to solve at least 80 to 90% of the question. People do get out of mark in science, but on an average, I would suggest everyone to be very good at science. Don't take the science section lightly because it is one of the scoring part of the CAPF AC papers. So let's take few questions from this year's paper. Transport of Na plus and Ca2 plus across the plasma membrane is an example of antiport, symport, uniport, aquaporins. Okay, so to get the exact, even though it might sound like it is just a very factual question, but to get the exact answer, you should be well versed with at least with the definition of all the four words. Only then you can think this whether it is antiport, symport, uniport, or acuporin. It may look like it is a very factual question, but it requires a very deep knowledge. You need to know every single detail about these things. Only then you can guess whether the answer is antiport, symport, or uniport, or aquaporin. Definitely, aquaporin is not the answer, but yeah, there might be confusion between these three. The correct answer is antiport. Again, cholesterol is a type of carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid. Again, yeah. So, what is cholesterol? In our day-to-day life, we heard this term कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ जाएगा बाहर का मत खाया करो बट क्या है कोलेस्ट्रॉल प्रोटीन है प्रोटीन होता तो हर कोई खाता है बिल्कुल एवरीवन वांट प्रोटीन इन देयर बॉडी वी टेक प्रोटीन फ्रॉम आउटसाइड लाइक फ्रॉम डिफरेंट पाउडर्स सो प्रोटीन होता तो डेफिनेटली ये तो अच्छा कंसेप्ट होता बट वेन एवर वी हर्ड दिस इन आर रियल वर्ल्ड जनरली इट इज रिलेटेड टू सम नेगेटिव फैक्ट लाइक कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ जाएगा इट इज नॉट गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ सो प्रोटीन तो नहीं है ठीक है अगेन न्यूक्लिक एसिड समवेयर देयर इज रिलेशन बिटवीन न्यूक्लिक एसिड एंड प्रोटीन सो आई डोंट थिंक इसको भी एलिमिनेट किया जा सकता है इजीली न्यूक्लिक एसिड क्वेश्चन कम्स फ्रॉम कार्बोहाइड्रेट एंड लिपिड you need to be good with this you should know the difference between these two and you should be able to guess the exact answer between this carbohydrate and lipid it may look like a very factual question very straightforward single line question but yes it is a it required a good knowledge in-depth knowledge the correct answer is cholesterol is a type of lipid not the carbohydrate or any other. We have seen some one-liners, some factual question, but let's see some analytical question also. There were few very analytical question that required your in-depth knowledge and the analysis of the knowledge. Not only would the knowledge of concept, but also the you can be able to apply the concept. Which of the following statement relating to carbon and its compounds are correct? Yes, so it's a question from chemistry. You should be well versed with the carbon and its compound to solve this question. One propine has three double bonds. No. Guys, if you could say this propine, that why any means triple bond. So if it, but yeah, it could have like been a confusion for some student. Like there were three double bond or two triple bond, like right. So yes, this word might some create confusion, but propine is a triple bond. Propane, AN is single bond. Propene, EN is double bond. Propine, YN is triple bond. So statement one is absolutely correct. Absolutely wrong, I would say. So we can eliminate A, option A and option C. Where two and three. Let's see. So two and three is common. So two and three is correct. Let's see directly to the option four. Ester gives effervescence on reaction with sodium bicarbonate. Yes, this is correct. How effervescence comes when there is a release of CO2, and ester has the component of C double bond O, so definitely there will be a release of CO2. So the release of CO2 will gives effervescence. So this statement 4 is correct. So definitely D 2, 3, and 4 is correct. But also let's see other two option two. The boiling point of acetic acid is higher than methane. Yes, methane is a simple carbon compound with single bond. Is its boiling point will be definitely less. Acetic acid had oxygen also related to. So if you know the basic chemistry, you would know that the relation between the elements and their boiling point or melting point is there. Ethanol reacts with sodium metal to produce hydrogen gas. Yes, it is one of the very basic reaction. Ethanol CH2, CH3CH2OH plus Na will give you CH3CH2Na plus H2O. So it do produce hydrogen gas. So yes, statement 3 is also right. So statement 2, 3, and 4. So correct answer will be D, 2, 3, and 4. Next, coming to the physics question, the larger area under hysteresis curve of BH of ferromagnetic material depicts. Now, to solve this question, you should be able to know what is hysteresis curve. If someone does not know what is hysteresis curve, he or she might not be able to solve this question. It is required very good knowledge, very good concept clarity regarding the ferromagnetic. It is that graph is something related to this. Yeah, that somewhere like S passing through the origin. So that curve is some like this. So it is related to whether maximum magnetization, extent of demagnetization, extent of lagging, or minimum energy. So as per my knowledge, it is related to extent of lagging. But yeah, it is one of the very good question from the science, from the physics specifically, and it requires very in-depth knowledge of the concept of ferromagnetic material and its curve. So what we can see from this year's question that the trend has shifted from static NCERT to application in technology, especially in physiology and physics laws. Okay, and the candidates who are going to prepare for this examination in near future should need to study class 9 to 12 NCERT plus current affairs scientific application plus they should be good with smart elimination technique also. I have mentioned how to eliminate this. Like if you could have just known these two statement in the last question, if you know that propine has triple bond and this effervescence come with CO2 and ester has CO double bond. So if you know only these two things, you don't need to know about the boiling point, you don't need to know about this reaction. If you know these two knowledge of the bonds and CO2 or effervescence, you could have solved this question. So definitely you should be very good with your eliminations techniques. Elimination skills should be very good. It gives you around 4 to 5 questions of advantage. So definitely you should be smart enough to have a good elimination skill, and it will come only with the practice. So what if we can see this science question, the number of question had increased. I think I have not included the computer science question, but there were few questions from computer science also. There were questions related to the gigabyte. It is one of the very easy question. There were options like whether it is 1024 or MB or 10 watt TB or so such question required just general knowledge. You just need does not need to be very good with computer, but general knowledge of such question could have been help you to solve such question. There were around 5 questions, and I think 3 to 4 questions were very easy. This year there were questions related to the different operations of different operations, military operations like Operation Meghdoot, Operation Safed Sagar, their timelines. So if you should read not only just exercises of the defense, but also the important operations. Like maybe in coming year they may ask about the Operation Sindoor. This year they have not asked, but in coming year there might be some question. There might be some question related to the technologies used in Operation Sindoor and other things. So such questions should be prepared. There were change in the trend. The question were this year coming very analytical in nature. The actual question has decreased. There were increase in these schemes related questions. You could see, yeah, there were around 5 to 6 questions from schemes. Such things happen generally. They used to happen in civil services examination, but from the last few years, the level of paper has increased, and the trend of the paper has been changed. That has been shifted to more of civil services in nature. So, but we have to, if we want to get selected, we have to read it. We have to prepare accordingly the paper of need and according the demand of the people. Okay, so let's see what are the key takeaways from these 2025 paper. What we could have learned from 2025 paper. We have seen the analysis, we have seen the subject-wise breakup of the question, demand of the question. We have seen the different type of question, like some easy, some tough, some factual, some conceptual. But what are the learnings from the 2025 paper for the next attempts? The paper, person, student who have left, who has the attempts left, or the student who will prepare for the next year, maybe for 26, maybe for 27, or maybe for 28. What are the lessons they might take from this paper? Greater emphasis on budget, government schemes, and India's global presence. If you could remember, there was a question related to India and Poland, their strategic ties. Yes. So such generally such question used to come from in civil services examination, but from last few years, such there is a shift in CPF AC paper, and such question is being asked. We should be very good with P by B. We should read government schemes, India's what are India is doing globally, what are the budgets, what are the important documents the India has the government has tabled in legislature. So such things should be the emphasis should be on this. And the quant and reasoning section has gained the complexity. Earlier, people used to say that quant and reasoning section of CAPF AC paper was just like someone is good with 10th level maths, he or she may get that 20 to 30 marks easily. But from this year, even not from only from this year, in previous year also there was some year that the quant and reasoning were tough. So, but from this year we can take understanding that quant and reasoning's level has increased. They are more on the CSAT point of view, and will be better for you also when if you prepare for the very good like for the CSAT level of questions of quant and reasoning. It will be helpful for you to solve CPF AC papers, quant and reasoning questions very easily. This year, geography mostly came from NCERT. Most of the questions were very direct. Even I have shown you some examples, some questions. Those were directly from NCERT. Even the options were this NCERT statement. The paper maker has not even changed the option, like very basic NCRTs. But again, that is not something everyone knows. It is very you need very good understanding of the concept. Only then you can solve this question. And if you are not getting good marks in geography, then you definitely need to study the NCRT very good again because questions from NC geography are, I would say, this year also it is more on easier to moderate side. These are not very tough as compared to the history or other parts of this other section of this question. So geography were only on mostly from the NCRT. This year history, arts and culture and medievals are as always they were on the tougher side. Even actually this year paper was on more on tougher side for history, arts and culture and medieval. Very pinpointed question were asked. Even few questions like I have prepared for around 3 years for this examination along with civil services. So even I was not able to get the exact answer of few questions of this arts and culture. So definitely this history, arts and culture and medieval was on a tougher side. So, but what can be the strategic preparation for the upcoming candidates or for the upcoming attempts of the aspirant? The very first thing we learn from this paper is we should follow PIB, Press Information Bureau. We should follow PIB religiously. We should, if we have time, we should also follow Yojana. At least we should read summary of economic survey or any like compilation from that summary of any institutes. If you could read Vision IS summary of economic survey or budget, they provide a very good data along with charts and table. You could it will help you to recall these things easily. Be good with the updated current affairs weekly. Focus on schemes, indices, international summits. Revise static topics through PYQ and practice MCQ from any coaching PDF, I would say. Okay. So whatever coaching you are preferring, practice MCQ because without practice you cannot develop your elimination skill. I've shown you how to use the elimination skill. You could have the good understand. Like not all question will be as per your knowledge. You have to sometime use your elimination skill to get the reach to the correct option. And it is something that a good and mature aspirant do. Even in the last year also, I have done alright. I have got around 5 to 6 question correct from the elimination technique. We cannot be sure with 100% of the question, but yes, it will definitely help and it will add marks uh, in your paper if you are good with elimination skill. So enhance reasoning skill through daily puzzles and mock tests. So one of the very important thing that I would like to tell you guys is till the last few years, we used to think that CAPF examination is something which can be like approached by just learning 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 3 months, I would say. Civil services student used to think like, yes, I have prepared for the civil services and now I can definitely have prepare for CAP or give the CAP basic examination just by studying for 2 3 months specifically. But this year the paper has proved something different. You need to study whole year. You can just cannot just skip the whole year and just come back with the preparation of 2 to 3 months to get a good marks. You will definitely you may get like qualify this paper, but if you want a good rank or you if you want a good marks in paper one, you need to study it religiously. You have to take this paper very religiously. You cannot skip and science. You cannot afford to skip even economy this from this year. You need to be very good with current affair. Arts and culture is as always on tougher side. Even polity number of question previous years can like in till previous year the number of question from polity were around 15 to 17. But this year, if I can see, if I can eliminate these schemes, there are only 5 to 6 questions from polity. So these are things that says that we need to study the whole year. We need to study for a longer duration or a very focused period. So that's it from my side, guys. Thank you for watching this and do comment your expected marks, the label of paper according to you, how you found the paper, whether it is on a easier side or a tougher side, how you may have found it easier. Maybe you are like more knowledge, definitely more knowledge than me or any other expert. So definitely share your marks and the level of paper, how you felt, and if there is any need or help, do reach to us. I'm Anup Kumar Dwivedi, All India Rank 106, UPSC CAPF AC 2024, and the description of the channels for the answer key and for other things has been added, a link of the channel for answer key and other sources has been added to your description. Do reach to us if you require any type of help. Thank you. Thank you for your patient listening.